Beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. This is the Seraphim Gem Gypsy, SeraFae Indigo Empress, and Shiloh Horizon. I don't plan to be here for too long. We'll see how long this takes. But I have a little reading to do. Candle wax over here. I wish I hadn't done that. Yeah, I bet you do. For sure. Good afternoon. It's nice to see you. How are you? It's been an adventure, huh? It's been an adventure. Need a bowl pack. Where's my fuego? There's a very angry karmic that I'm picking up. That's funny. I didn't know where my lighter was, so I grabbed another one. And when that happens, I just grab them blindly. And so I often notice just intuitively which one I pick up, based on which one I pick up, which one is to be used next. And this one says, spread the light, flick my bick. And so I was just addressing some karmic situations, but that makes sense. They were creating darkness, trying to anyway. Yeah, awakening, but we know better. And this is why those of us who are called to speak up. Oh yeah, I'm going to bed soon. But I just finished up with some tasks. And so I'm here for a little bit. I got another call to come through. I've got 3 more nails to do. Just 3. But I'll do those tomorrow. I just finished cleaning and switching the laundry. So here's this. These people were in denial about the fact that they did anything wrong, or they knew that they're wrong. They knew that they were doing wrong, but they were denying, not in denial. They know they're incorrect, but they were denying what they were doing to everyone else, trying to gaslight people. I didn't do anything wrong, when they know full well that they did. And so do we all. You see. You know how I often say, I know you remember, I've been saying this for years, but since you came on here recently and found my channel, I've been saying it. You know how I say to these karmics, dude, you're weird and not the good kind. I've never heard anyone else say that because I made it up years ago. But that crazy plagiarizer said it out loud today. And while someone was calling her out for what seemed to be stealing from me, taking advantage of people at their most vulnerable positions when they have been put in a really bad, dangerous, or difficult position, taking advantage of people when they're at their lowest, this commenter said, she got really mad. And she started saying all of the things to this commenter who was honestly calling her out for bullying and stealing and being fake. And everything I said to her a few days ago, calling her a piece of shit, telling her she's weird and not the good kind, everything that I said, she parroted back. She repeated back. today to somebody who seemed to be calling her out for stealing from me. So she's copying my specific coined quotes and terms that nobody else in the whole world has said because I made them up years ago. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She also confessed she was trying to go through a bunch of timelines to like prove that she was a creator or something like that. But when she was going through the timelines and the timestamps, what she was doing was actually publicly confessing to when she started posting things or when she started doing things. And she thought she was claiming originality, but what she actually did was put out publicly. She quoted these dates herself, a timeline. And I can prove that all of my accounts and all of the things that she's been stealing from me existed before she made her accounts, before she started posting. I was here before her. She's been copying me, and everybody else can see that now too, anybody who matters. But I know you've heard me say that. You're weird, not the good kind. In fact, that was a conversation a few weeks ago. Somebody tried to call you weird. Remember, Adonis? I remember that. And there were a few people being weird in the comments. You stuck up for me. I stuck up for you. I blocked the people calling you weird and told them that they were weird and not the good kind. Thanks for sticking up for me, by the way. Because that dude was being a weird pervert. Mm-hmm. So they care. They're very upset. And they're unkind. And I just called her out for that. It was a Mean Girl reference. You're a mean girl, Katie. And that was the girl's name in the movie, one of them. Regina was one mean girl, Regina George, and then the other one's name was Katie. K-D. You're a mean girl, Katie. You're a bitch. Verbatim from the movie. No way she said that. Yeah, she did, and I have it recorded. And she tried to delete the live feed after again. But in this same live feed, she was copying my words. She was, again, talking about wanting to continue to sell my stolen property. And in the same live feed that she just deleted, she told her animals, she said that she was going to throw things at the cat or the dog. I think it was the cat. She told the cat that she was going to throw things across the room at it. That's animal abuse. She confessed live to hundreds of people out of the millions of followers that she has that she was going to abuse animals. And then she deleted the live feed. But I recorded it before she did it. So now I've got evidence of her confessions again. And again, I have another round of evidence of her trying to delete the confessions after she made them. Sounds very reckless and impulsive, like a toxic Sagittarius to me, but that's because she is. Okay. Gross. She's being told to mind her business and stay off the internet. And stop copying me. She did this in a past life too. I was a royal, just like I am now, on some level. I still carry the bloodline. And she was a peasant, somebody who wanted to be even lower nobility. So she was mad at me for being a royal in that life. And then she followed me into this one and still carried the vendetta. Thought she could dress up in a cubic zirconium crown and call herself a queen, but that's not how that works. She said, I don't have $3,000 to send my dog to dog training school. But she's got all this money to steal from me. Maybe if she stopped spending money on cheap polyester clothes from Amazon with stolen funds, she'd have some more resources. Maybe if she stopped being a scummy, bummy bottom feeder, she'd have resources because the universe would provide for her instead of her having to grift and steal from people. But anyway, in fact, no, it wouldn't. And that's what I'm hearing. No, it wouldn't, because she's a demon. The universe, God does not reward bad behavior. That's why she felt like she had to steal, because she wasn't getting blessings for being a bad person. So she had to be fake and manipulative instead. Anything else? I think we're good with this deck. That's one of the things I noticed today. I documented all of it. All of it. Everything she's trying to deny, that live feed today contradicts. Everything she's been trying to deny, I've got evidence to show otherwise. Everything she's been trying to cover up didn't get covered up. All of this will be used against her in a court of law. Not if I use you? No. It doesn't matter whether you try to rush to a court and lie or lie first. A good court doesn't care whether you tell your side of the story first or second. They just care about the truth and the facts. And the fact of the matter is, she chose to be a criminal. She chose to be manipulative. She chose to be duplicitous and deceptive and dishonest, and a court will not rule in her favor. She's also choosing to break the law and thinks that she can just keep being combative, tit for tat, as if she's above the law, and that's a delusion. She's not. That will put her in prison faster or a mental hospital. Nobody's above the law. Let me be very clear. You just don't like it. No, if I was doing that to you or anybody else, I would be in just as much of a pickle. I would be in just as much negative karma. I would be in just as much legal repercussion as you, Crazy K. But I don't treat people like that or do things like that, so I'm not. Which is why I will not be tolerating it from you. And I won't sugarcoat shit. You know why? I'm not Mary Poppins and you're not a child. Sit down and stay seated. You don't have a choice. You know why you're not feeling well? You know why you have a migraine? Because of all the crown chakra attacks you've been sending out. You know why your dog is hurt and sick? Because you've been using your animals for clout and attention while abusing them and threatening to hurt them when they jump up for what I assume is attention and affection, which you don't have unless it's fake. And when you're being an evil black witch like that, I'm not talking about skin color, and then you try to use animals, what that's called is using an animal as a witch's familiar. You're using an animal for black magic or negative intent at that point. And unfortunately for you, that backfire will hit your animals. Just like the Wicked Witch next door. I told her to stop using her animals for any reason, let alone to come attack mine, or God would wipe hers out so that she couldn't use them as attack animals anymore. And it's dead. She tried to call my mom to cause problems and lie to my mom about me. The 60-year-old creep had her older sister do it. Actually. Tried to call my mommy as if I'm not 33 years old. Hello, just about. And now her mom's dead because she decided to stir the pot with mine. And apparently, according to Crazy K, her dog has thorns all up in its paws because it won't stay out of this bush. And you know what, Crazy K, you've been a thorn in my side. Uno reverse hit your dog. And she called the dog Fae. She's been abusing me. She's been disrespecting the Fae realm, the elemental realm. And then she wanted to name her new puppy after a fairy while telling the animals she's going to hit them or throw objects at them, which is the equivalent of hitting them without your hand, right? If you punch somebody in the face or throw a baseball at them, it has the same effect, doesn't it, Crazy K? Mm-hmm. Well, that's what she confessed to publicly. She's in front of all those kids. She told the whole world she was going to abuse an animal. And I got it on recording before she deleted it. Stay seated. If you know anything about me, elder abuse, child abuse, and animal abuse are the 3 things that get me going the most. And I will fucking destroy you. I will hire a private investigator to find out exactly who you are and send the cops to your door, bitch. Don't try me. Oh, and if you think the police where I live and the police where you live don't know what you've been doing or saying and don't have copies of your nonsense, you thought wrong. Because I contacted both of them in both jurisdictions, and you're screwed. Because the federal government's also after you, but now so is each state. Or they will be soon. Leave people alone. Here's another thing. Multiple people it seemed, were going into her comment section and telling her that she was being a predator for targeting kids, which is precisely what I called her out for days ago. So other people are noticing too and calling her out for it. And she tried to turn around and call the person, right, there was a commenter telling her that she was a predator, that she was targeting kids, and she turned around and tried to call them a pedophile. You're bringing up the fact that I've got kids in my feed, so that makes you a pedophile. No, the commenter was bringing up the fact that she's targeting kids, which makes her the predator. Somebody bringing up the fact that they noticed you being predatory towards kids does not make them a predator. This commenter was bringing up their age, not because they were a predator, but because they were calling Kay out for being a predator. And she said, I can't control what age of people come into my live feeds, but yes, you can. When the Amazon book that you're selling that is made of my stolen art, my copyright and trademark infringed name that you stole, and my story and my daughter's story from the royal bloodline to the Fae and everything else, SeraFae specifically, when you choose to advertise to 13 to 18-year-olds, which is a choice, when you sell things online, like if you list, let's say you list a sex toy, that's not going to be listed to anybody under 18. Okay? Well, she had to list that book on purpose to children. So you do not get to say, I can't control if there are kids in my live feed when you're advertising to children. Shut up. Pervert. You should not be around kids, Kay. You should not be around animals. I would never let you anywhere near my daughter. You're a danger to yourself and others. You're certainly not safe for children. And if I were your in-laws, I wouldn't let you around your nephew either. And this is why your boyfriend will be breaking up with you as part of it. Also, I know he's been watching me because I saw that. Bye. There it is. So that's that. That's the tipping point. That's all. I wish I hadn't done that. I bet you do now, but not as much as you're about to. Ooh, because the topic of child and animal abuse might make me a little heated. I might need a little bit of rest right now because it's about my bedtime. Been up busy for a while. But I get to wake up and start a fresh day. Ooh, and your life is over because of what you've done and continued to do while denying that you did it in the first place. Banshee. Suffering losses, screaming because they feel upset. My Sasquatch. Because I feel like these big oafy, wieners. Look, spider in woods who nobody wants to deal with. They feel like they've got to go hide in the woods to get away from the people knowing the truth about them. That's so funny. It's so funny. But look, The bear and the hare and Green Man and the frog don't want to see her, right? She feels like she's got to go hide out in the woods to get away from people knowing what she's done, right? Because now 6 million people are going to know what a trash bag she is. That she's a thief, that she's a predator, also that she's a liar, and based on what her public confession was the last 12 hours, an animal abuser too. I think that's disgusting. But the animals in the forest don't want to deal with her either. I think it's funny because she tries to dress up like a beast sometimes. The hare don't want her. Green Man doesn't want her. The frog, even the frog doesn't. When the frog doesn't want you, girl, you know you done goofed. Because even the toad wants somebody to kiss, doesn't he? Not you. Wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole. Make it 10,000 and I still wouldn't. Bear. It's hilarious. Oh, also I have a recording of the Arizona police and myself chatting. And guess what? Oh, they thought it was a riot, not me calling. They know I'm coming to collect you. They know I'm happy to hire a private investigator to handle business, especially after that animal abuse stint today. That really pissed me off. I said, yeah, I'm a whistleblower as part of what I do. In fact, here, let's pull it up, shall we? Because I got it right here for you. I can just play it. She laughed at you. The police are laughing at you, Crazy K, because they know you're in trouble. And they know I'm ready to handle business. And this would be the police in Arizona. The police where you are. Where you list your P.O. box for people to send you gifts, you grifter. For kids to send you money. After you sell stolen goods at that. The police in multiple jurisdictions know what you've done. And the ones where you are laughing at you. It's all in my description box if you need anything. But anyway, let's pull this up.
And not a single another one of 6 million kids, then I will do so.
If I need to hire a private investigator, I said.
She took advantage of me in a vulnerable spot, unfortunately. But if I'm getting out of it, so if I have to hire a PI to fix it.
If I have to hire a PI to fix this, I said.
And address the situation.
And address the situation. So she can't target anymore people, not one of 6 million people, not one of 6 million kids, I will. And the police started laughing at you because they know I'm serious. And they know it's pretty extreme.
And not a single another one of 6 million kids, then I will do so. Part of my job is whistleblowing. So.
Part of my job is whistleblowing.
Well, I'll make the
liar. Liar, liar, pantaloons on fire. You weird, not the good kind. Stop copying me.
You too. Thank you. I hope the rest of your calls are mellow. Bye-bye. You too. You too. Thank you. I hope the rest of your calls are mellow. Bless you. Bye-bye. You too. I have to hire a PI to fix this and address the situation so she can't target anymore. And not a single another one of 6 million kids, and I will do so. Part of my job is whistleblowing, so I'll make the moves I need to if I have to.
She's laughing at you. Do you hear this? Look.
My job is whistleblowing, so I'll make the moves I need to if I have to.
Do you hear this police officer giggle on the other end of the line? They're sick of you, and they haven't even gotten started yet. Buckle up, Kay. Toodles. She's gonna get it for that. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. You don't like what I'm saying, but it's still the truth. Let's see, shall we? If I'm wrong, God, you tell me if I'm wrong and I need to course correct. Of course, course correct me. Tell me and I'll course correct. But I'm not. She's fucked up and she's a narcissist and she doesn't want to admit she's wrong. She wants to play the victim like a borderline personality nut job. She wants to project. But the things she's saying are proving my point. And then she immediately goes to delete them because she knows she's wrong. I haven't deleted my live feeds. They're all right up there. You know why? Because I don't have anything to hide, but she does. Everything. She's got everything to hide because now there's nothing real about her. She was also claiming my medical history story, trying to say that she has been through everything that I've been through, but no doctor can prove it. Well, my doctors can prove it. Medical testing can prove it. She claims she has seizures and stuff like that, but it doesn't show up and like the doctors can't find it. Even if you had a seizure, even if it wasn't, even if a doctor or a machine didn't catch the seizure while it was happening, they can still test and measure certain things in your brain to show if there was a seizure, if there was proper activity, function or not. And so they would still be able to tell. The fact that she's claiming that none of these doctors have any way of telling, and there's something off with the story, because if she's claiming to have everything that I have, then doctors would be able to pick it up. Also, she's claiming that nobody has been able to witness it. But let me tell you what, I've lived alone for about 10 years. And my doctors and my mother and a number of people. I've had multiple witnesses see me puke. I've had multiple witnesses see me either pass out or just about pass out. To the point where I was hauled into the emergency room and testing was done and the test machines verified what I'm saying. So if she actually had these things that she's claiming, there would be record of that. There would be some way to test for that. Doctors would be able to find it. She's lying. And every time I do a live feed, she'll go and do one after, and then she tries to contradict what I'm saying, or she verbatim repeats everything I'm saying. Copies my life, copies my words as her own, but tries to claim it's original. But literally the day before, consistently, my live feed contradicts everything. And she hadn't gone live in 6 months until a few days ago when she started trying to be combative. You can go live, well, I'm going to go live too. But she keeps deleting her live feeds because it's for attention, to try to cover her tracks. I don't do that. I don't need to. Grifter. She's a grifter. My energy. That's funny. If I'm wrong, like I said, if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. But I just split the deck and pulled a card. Renown, celebrity, patronage, philanthropy, political, artistic, scientific activities, great generosity, encouraging goodness, leader, diplomat, leadership, fortune, wealth, business, altruism. And that's why she's been stealing from me. She knows I'm about to make bank and she wanted to steal it before I could get it. I think she's hiding now, but she doesn't run anywhere. No. Fortune, wealth, business, altruism. And altruism is fighting for the rights of other people. It's doing the right thing, even if there's no benefit in it for you. It's just the right thing to do. Fighting for the rights of others, altruism. Integrity, morality, something she lacks. Allowing us to make surprising discoveries and travel. Yeah, I get to move on from this. Let's see. What's Crazy K's energy? If I'm wrong, tell me, God. If I'm wrong, you course correct. Whoa. You need help? Come here, baby. Oh, baby, I love you. Come here. You want a little treaty? Want some breakfast? Oh, it's kind of early now. It's for you, Bella. You want one too, then, Bella? Here, look, oops. It's for you. I don't want to see your nails. I'll show them in a minute. If I'm wrong, you know, tell me what's up. If I'm wrong, tell me what's up. Heard that. You're not. Crazy K. Thank you. Careful, my lovey. So, lacking inspiration. Yeah, that's why she's copying, because she's not creative. Contradiction. Told you, she's just contradicting herself consistently. And those were just a few things. She did an 8-hour live feed today where she sat there lying. You know, what I know she was doing was trying to match and beat my 8-hour live feed. I didn't sit on there doing a live feed for 8 hours because I wanted to. I was channeling and clearing the space that she was causing problems and creating in the first place. She just wanted to try to sit there for 8 hours to show that she could, but she didn't. I sat there and did stuff, actually had valid things to talk about. She sat there and lied for 8 hours, talked trash to people calling her out for 8 hours, pretended to start doing the wig hair for 5 minutes, but then went into 8 hours of self-centeredness and deception before immediately deleting it. That's stupid. What's wrong with you? A lot. Distortion of reality. Why? Because she's delusional. Criticism, controversy, compliance to illusion. And again, these were just a few things. A few of the things that I mentioned were a few of the topics and issues. But I made point to document, knowing that she was going to delete it, knowing that it was full of incriminating evidence, including threats of animal abuse, which is certainly not very child-friendly, especially when you're advertising to 13-year-olds. And that's what this person was calling her out for. They said 15, though. Like, you've got a bunch of 15-year-olds in your life. Why do you care about how old people are? You're a pervert. No. They're telling you that you're a predator because you're targeting kids 15 or under, 17 or under, 18 or under. I don't do that. My channel's set up so that my videos aren't to go out to kids over 18, unless they're over 18, or people unless they're over 18. I don't send my videos out to kids. She was sitting in there swearing and saying fuck and this and that and all kinds of stuff, but advertising to 13-year-olds. Bye. It's not my fault if kids are on my feed, except for it is when you advertise to them because you're trying to draw them in and then be inappropriate and then claim that it's not your fault so you don't have to take accountability. But when you're advertising to children, it is. And as a mother, ma'am, you're not special, Kay. There's no competition. You're a criminal and an abuser. I would not trust you around children. I don't trust you around my daughter. I'm speaking to you not as somebody you're trying to combat, not as competition, as a mother. And you're finished. And I have no problem with that. That warrior energy. Because if you require that to come up out of me, it means that you were the problem. And I don't have a problem handling those. But you will. And you won't like it. I do promise that. Body envy, beauty envy, jealousy I'm picking up on. ugly, the karmic female says, except for the angels are saying, no, that's projection. She's actually just jealous. It's usually they say the opposite at that point. I heard that. You're just mad because I have more followers. No, I'm going to have way more than you pretty soon. So that doesn't matter. And if you were so special and you were so creative, you wouldn't feel the need to steal from me. But you see, you want followers, so you steal from me, or you want to take ones that you think should be going to me, so you steal from me. If you weren't concerned about it, you wouldn't be doing that. But you lack creativity, which is why you are a thief and a grifter. See? You're not a nice person. So I don't have to sit here and pretend to be nice to you. You're a bitch. And I'll call you out for it. Regina George. I told you, you're a shark. You're a predator. And everybody else could see it too. I don't know who that was today. But let me tell you what. I was giggling at those comments and quietly cheering them on. Saying out loud, don't you take that projection. No, see, you're calling her out for being a predator and she's trying to flip the script and call you a predator. You're not a predator for mentioning that she's targeting kids or mentioning that she's targeting 15-year-olds. She's the predator for targeting 15-year-olds. The fact that she's trying to say that you're a predator for calling her out for targeting 15-year-olds, so to deflect from the fact that she's targeting 15-year-olds, says everything. Baby, that's narcissism 101. Okay. You're a piece of shit, she said to them. No, bitch, that's you. That's why I called you that the other day and it hurt your feelings so badly you felt the need to speak it out at someone else. Everything I've been calling her out, she repeated to haters in her comment section today, except they weren't haters. They weren't hating on her. They were telling her honest things about herself that she didn't like to hear because it doesn't match the delusional, nice, heroic persona she tries to wrap herself in. Or it shattered her delusion about herself. But none of us are confused. Yes, you are. No, bitch. Also, you're done. Not relevant. Unless God has a message, your volume has just been turned off. Oh, see, rabbit. Pregnancy. Yeah, you're targeting. This is me coming as a mother. Even the hairs don't want anything to do with you. Freedom action. Mm-hmm. Standard mod is all that's needed. I don't need anybody to mess with my settings. If they want to moderate and put bullies and criminals in place or remove them, then that's one thing. But I don't need anybody to have access to my settings. There's no need for that. The permissions that need to be granted have been granted on that account. Crown. Yeah, cunning, stealth. They thought that they were sneaky, but they were prideful. More specifically, they tried to come at a queen and didn't expect me to stand my ground. All my wolves begin to howl, wake me up, the time is now. You know, she also has a pirate character. She calls it an original series, but it's a pirate named Calypso. That's not original. Ma'am, that was in Pirates of the Caribbean. Enough. Also, you remember my nails from the other week that said, be a reefer. The coral reef and all that stuff. She went on saying she's got new character role developments today. One of them's a wolf. One of them's a cat, she said. as if I haven't been talking about both of those. And then she said she's got a coral monster, like a coral reef monster, and some kind of like mermaid-like creature that can read books without reading them because she's just like magically knows them. As if I didn't get out of the bath the other day and start speaking downloads and tell you exactly that. Who remembers me speaking about cryptography just yesterday or the day before? It's cryptography, or cryptopsychometry is what I call it. But I have the gift of cryptography and psychometry, so I can touch objects and pick up stuff, downloads, impressions about it. But I don't have to touch things. I just pick up the downloads. If I go into a space, I don't have to touch anything. I still get the downloads. If I sleep next to a book, I'll wake up and I'll start talking about it without having read it. I just know I get the downloads. And I have had witnesses to see that. And actually, they noticed what I was doing before I did because I hadn't read the book and the book was theirs. So when I woke up and started speaking about stuff I had never read in a book that they owned, they were like, you know, that was from the book that you didn't read last night because you set it on the nightstand before going to bed. I know. Well, now I do. But I hear that. So you're telling me she just took that whole story that you did yesterday and now today was claiming that she has a new character? Yes, again, based on my nail art again. I heard that. There's not an original bone in her body. No, she stalks my feed every day to look for things that I'm saying about my real life because I'm really a psychic medium that she can try to make into some original character. That's not original. That's like Jeffree Star putting out a lipstick called Anna Nicole Smith. That's Anna Nicole Smith's classic red color, thinking that he could use it at all, let alone because she was dead, even though her foundation still owns the rights to all of that, like I do my trademark and copyrights. And beyond that, his highest selling lipstick was that one because he was using her name. And all that money had to go back to her foundation because he wasn't legally allowed to make money off of her name and the likeness of her. That's what it is. Made in the likeness of her. And she's trying to embody me. You cannot do that without breaking the law. My essence is trademarked. SeraFae is not a character. It's who I am. It's my bloodline lineage. It's not a game. It's not a fantasy. It's my real life. It's another nickname for me, but it's who I am. It's not a game. There's nothing about this channel that's fantasy. It's not a fantasy. There's a reason that my description boxes don't say, for entertainment purposes only. I'm not doing this for entertainment. Original. Not a character. Gangster. Enough. Maybe I'm a gangster too. You don't really want to fuck with me. Because you get stomped out by the divine triangle. You get stomped out, kicked in the face, because you went up behind a horse instead of minded your business. Now, I could keep going.